Hello! Morning. Oh, I can actually hear the video coming through. That's pretty disturbing. Right, hey, morning. Afternoon, whatever it is. Is it 12:30? Yeah. So, afternoon, I guess is the word. Hey, Kev. Hello, everybody else. Hello, Nightbot. Weird Nightbot person, creepy thing. Alright. As usual, I don't like formalities, so I'm just going to crack on, to be honest. Welcome along to Decentralise, the community, where we are fixing, making better a Marketeer, which is effective free version of Buffer, was where it came from, but it's pretty useful to us now. We use it to shout about all our events. Talking of which, join us next week, Kevin Henny, a celebrity in the development world. Refactoring is not just clickbait. He'll be joining us on Thursday, so make sure to RSVPs, get your tickets. Right, hey Sean, is the audio very quiet for anyone else? Oh, good question. Shall I turn it up? I'm going to keep talking as I turn this up. Hello. Is that better? Hello. Morning, Thomas. Morning, Sean. Oh, good afternoon. Blimey, I genuinely struggle with moving from morning to afternoons. Anyway. Hey, Will. So, what I said last week was that I would fix issues with the fact that our pipelines don't work anymore, and balances music there. Awesome, good to hear. Fix these possible issues. Now, this has been caused, I think, by a change in the Docker image. I think I'm just using a default Docker image provided by GitHub, to be honest. I don't even think it's like anything special. I think GitHub provide basically an image for doing everything, which is crazy. Anyway, not going to be using this. Going to be using my go-to, which is for this sort of thing, which is Forge. So when I do any staging for clients or anything, staging any PHP applications, I use Forge, and then I hand it off to a DigitalOcean server, usually that I've built for them, and it will usually be managed, I guess. All sorts of different agreements. Anyway, Forge is where I usually do that for staging. It's just quite a simple version of pipelines, really. In fact, it's a really, really naive version of pipelines because it actually runs on your own server. So this is effectively just a way of scripting your server. So I've gone ahead and set us up a Norfolk Developers server because that takes a little while. However, adding a site to it shouldn't take us too long, so I figured I'd hold fire and we'll do that quickly now. We provision Forge with some credentials for your provider, so I've given them credentials to GitHub. So if we go along here and grab username and repo URL, so this little bit here, or grab it, you could grab it there, and pop it in our Forge, tell it which branch we want to deploy this particular site for, tell it we want composer dependencies. So I read this almost every time it does the. Oh yes, I remember. But yeah, we don't need that. I don't need the deploy key. It's got access to the server. It'll have set all of that up itself. Cool. Install repository, and this is where it explodes and complains that it can't do anything. And we'll move swiftly on to building the feature that we were going to build today. So, plan for today is to refactor some of the, well, I wasn't expecting that to just land on this page again. Ready? Should we refresh that? Did anyone actually spot what that did? This is hilarious. Oh, here we go. Why does everything go wrong when you're streaming? Okay. So this is because this is an old project and we're running it against 8. So in your meta on here, you can change versions, which is what I was looking for, but there aren't any other versions installed on the server, but it's fine. I think this application works fine under PHP 8. So what we'll need to do is come along to our composer file, so along to my development environment. It goes wrong to test your ability to make sense of error messages under pressure. So yeah, Thomas, sorry for missing chat. Forge will auto-deploy. You can either manual or auto-deploy. Once it's enabled, you can just enable an auto-deployment basically, and then it'll hook into GitHub, and every time you push, it'll push. The biggest issue with Forge is, like I say, it runs on your server. So there's a alternative for Forge in the Laravel community called Envoyer, which provides you 0 downtime version of effectively Forge. But because it's, I don't know really, to be honest, because I just use Forge, I haven't moved over to Envoyer yet. I don't really use these things very much, to be honest. I don't get much use out of them, which is probably bad. But 0 downtime version of effectively the same thing. It does it in a symlinked folder, effectively. Yeah, it'll do migrations too. I'll show you that in a moment. Basically, it just gives you a script that you can run on a regular basis every time GitHub updates. You need everything on that server as well, so you need everything installed on the server. The server needs access to your Git, all sorts of stuff. So, right, we are unable to install because of PHP 8. That's where we were. This app runs under PHP 8, and to be honest, I think so Laravel, we're using Sail, so there'll be a Docker compose file, and yeah, context is runtimes 8. So there is actually I think you can go down to 7.3. I think so. There are other versions, PHP versions. There we go. Oh, you can do 7.4. Wow, the lofty heights of 8 and 7.4. Sure, there must be other versions. But anyway, it doesn't matter. We can run this under 8. I'm pretty sure of it. So let's do it. What we need to do is tell Composer that 8 is okay, and we can do that in a couple of ways. We can either just change this to 8, or pipe it with an 8 for now. Split 8, 0, and a carrot. We'll go for any 8 version. Fuck it. YOLO. Let's see what happens. Like I say, this isn't a production app. It's being used by effectively just the committee. And we've got Sentry installed. So it'll pick up the bugs later. Oh dear. He said live on YouTube. Okay, cool. I think that's it. So we just update that. Now, again, I said a few times now on these streams that at some point I'm going to refactor this out. I did have a quick go before the stream today, and it turned into an absolute quagmire. I think it's because of the lock file. But if we have time later on this afternoon, I shall give it a go if we're looking for something to do. Anyway, so what did I do? We updated that, so we can push this git status. It's just the composer file. Going to take the admission as a clear and sell it as an NFT. If only that would be worth anything, Sean. Alright, so update composer. Boom. Helps composer to support PHP 8. And Lapouche. Sometimes my key, can you see that? Yeah. Sometimes my key just dies. Which is a little bit concerning when it's almost the keys to the kingdom. So we can control C this, it should. There she goes. Up it goes, hopefully. Awesome. Pushed him in. So now, it's not auto deploying at the moment. Oh, God. It couldn't have possibly held on to that configuration for a little bit. Just like, do you want to try that again? No. I must have been wrong. Pebcac, right? Main. Install composer dependencies. Go. Sit and stare at it. I wonder if it says a message this time. I didn't see a message last time. It just gave up, didn't it? I'm trying to drink more water. Which will inevitably mean I need to go to the toilet halfway through the stream. I swear it only ever sent to test you when... Oh, don't click that. Can I have the reason, please? Some logs would be good, thank you. Time is that? 12:41, so that is literally just now. Am I going crazy? I'm pretty sure that's fine. What is your problem? Huh. That's the problem. This is going to have a different version in the log file. God. Interesting. I'm not... Yeah. So update. Get that log file updated. Hopefully. Good God. What's going on for node? Node package length there. Alright, done. And let's add that. Compose a log file, shall we? Commit. Actually, update the log file. Alright. Give that a go again then. Third time's the charm. Oh! I remembered this time. Maybe because it didn't. I swear I refreshed. Alright, install. Excuse Liam. Did you see that? I'm going to turn off do not disturb just in case. Ah, fuck. Right. No, not site logs. Can I have a notification on this page, please, Laravel Forge? This is a fantastic advert for Laravel Forge, isn't it? Huh. You know, we were talking about potentially upgrading Laravel Nova. Oh. I don't even know where I typed that. Okay. My keys aren't working anymore. I can't. There we go. We are quite far behind. Blimey. She ate my belly. Yeah, the error log is getting smaller at least, yeah. Okay, so up to us at this point. Do you want me to go through the process? I'm going to put there's a new thing. We can do these. I can create a poll. Right, here we go. So how many we got on the screen? I can't even see that at the moment. Probably not enough. Right, update or swap out Nova for packagist version. And I'll explain that. Did that do anything? Was that popped up on your side? Doesn't seem to have done a single thing. Was that? Oh, there it is. It has arrived. Alright, so basically at the moment, Laravel Nova is a, well, at the moment, it's always going to be, I imagine. It's paid for. $99 if you're small, $1.99 if you're big. You can download it, log in, download a copy from here. So at the moment we're on 3.12. Wow, 3.12.1. Released in October 2020. Excellent. So somewhat point along here, they'll have added PHP 8 support and a whole bunch of fixes, etc., etc., I'm sure. Now, at the moment, the way we have to update that is to download a copy of this one. Although, can I do it from here? Probably not. No, because I'm not logged in. But we download a copy, and it is in our Nova directory. So this is the package installed here locally. And we tell Composer to reference it here. So in our Composer manifest, we say there is a repository of type path. It is in the Nova directory. And then within here, we can say Laravel Nova of any version, because it's the version that's in this folder. And that will basically pull this in. I think it'll symlink it in the vendor directory. So in here, in our Laravel Nova, yeah, there's a little arrow here, because that's just symlinked it directly to this root directory. So if we made it to make any changes, we don't have to run a composer update or whatever. As a rule, I do not touch this Nova directory, because obviously if you touch it, then you can't download the next version until you've, well, I guess you can, you just got to make those same changes. However, there is another way of doing it, and it's well, it's the way I normally do it, to be fair, these days, and that is to use their private, their private Composer repo. Blimey. I have had issues with this before, or rather specifically I've had issues with swapping out from path to Composer. So we can do that. It looks like there's 100% for yes for that at the moment. The alternative is I change out our Forge version to run it as 7.2 basically. Get those votes in. I can see 100% on the yes, 2 votes. Oh. I'm going to go with it in a minute after that long explanation. I also just need to get it sorted. Otherwise, it's just going to get older and older and older. Because I'm lazy. We're going with a yes. I'm going to go with a yes. To all the people that can't be bothered to open up the poll interface on their phone or whatever. Right, let's do this. Let's have some fun. So, effectively, we're doing this. Are we on? We're up to date, yeah. Effectively, we're doing this, right? So we're deleting Nova. And we're going to swap it out with a packages directory. Blah, 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 a declaration. We are running against 3.12 something. So we'll stick with that at the moment. I think it's 3.12.1. So we want 3.12 of Laravel Nova. We want to tell the repositories now that this one is going to come from here instead of, so this is a composer type, which means it's like basically private packages or private npm repositories or whatever. Synopia. This is effectively the same thing. Alright, so we've hooked that up, we've told it what version we want. These are sort of plugins. I think we discussed them on the intro week. To be fair, we'll need to run this again after we've updated. But I think that's all she wrote. So just run composer update, right? I might want to trash our vendor directory. I'm not too sure about what. Okay, so we went for 3.26, which is the latest version. Liam's going to repeat his question onto the stream now. I saw your Discord DM, but obviously didn't get onto it. Sanctum officially doesn't work with the default API group roots. You mean these? Not those. These, yeah. So isn't Sanctum for literally doing exactly that? I can't speak. Doesn't Sanctum provide you with tokens? So there's like, where is it? Middleware somewhere. Yes to it providing tokens. Is that? Do you do like a Sanctum :auth or something? The SPA auth variant even. Oh. Because you're using sessions. Are you logging in via a session, landing on an SPA, and then expecting the SPA to make API requests? Yeah. So I, depending on the way what I want, so API, I like to think of this roots manifest here. Where are we going again? Root provider. So I like to think of this API as SaaS, you know? These are your SaaS endpoints, or whatever, your integration endpoints that you provide to other people. Sometimes, if I never see this ever happening, I will come in here and just do this. Swap that out for a web. And then you can put your API roots in here. But they're protected by the same session-based authentication rather than Sanctum stuff. But yeah, that catches a lot of people out. This different middleware stack, or you can just change the middleware stack in the kernel here, so you can bring these in. You want them before the bindings, you want them after the API fold. So you could add those in. Yeah, exactly. API is meant, for the traditional, should we say, API, you know, a RESTful service that you provide on the side for other people to consume. That's the routinely asked question. That it's annoying, and I forget it every time as well. I just end up slapping a load of API endpoints in here, and I'm like, "What do you mean, 401?" I'm like, "I'm logged in. What the fuck?" Right. Anyway, got distracted. Back on thing. We are updating Composer now. We have an error in our in here, and I've seen this before. This is confusing. But this is the authenticity of GitHub, but we're syncing Laravel Nova. This is not GitHub, and I don't know why it does this, but I've had this problem before and I can't remember how I get around it. We're going to get around it together, because that's the point of these streams. I hate this whole not preparing things. Okay, so I don't need to give it a GitHub token because it ain't going to get anything from GitHub. So I'm going to Control-C that and assume it is moron. So I think I'm going to go the napalm root and RMR my vendor directory. I don't think that's important. It shouldn't be important, but we're going to try and Composer update after that anyway. I think it's going to be the lock file. Oh. There we go. This is the prompt we need. So, it's going to ask us for authentication against nova.laravel.com. And the authentication we provide is just our account details of... Seems like a stupid thing to say. I have some account details over here in my one password. I thought... Yeah, here we go. So this is my username. And I'm pretty sure the password is going to show up in complete blanks and completely hidden. This is going to be hilarious if it doesn't. Paste. Excellent. Enter. Invalid credentials. Fantastic. Now it's asked us for GitHub again. Curious. Very, very curious. Alright. Let's try it again. Maybe I messed up copying my password. Crazier things have happened. Oh wait, I'm I just copied my Laravel Forge password. Nova is the what entry above it. All right, paste. There she goes. And then here is the crux of it. Or this is what you're going to need to do in your CI. Basically, it will store the token that it went and got. Because this is sale, it's going to stick it in the temp directory. That's fine for our purposes. For the server that it uploads it to, it is going to kick off because it doesn't have credentials. But we can fix that. That was pretty painless. So an RMRF of the vendor directory apparently. Not a big fan, but that's fine. Vendor is mutable. Vendor, we should be able to throw vendor away. It's great. It's great for a reason. All right. Because of the, oh yeah, good spot. Thanks, Tom. Where should we put it? Does anyone even care that we're listening to Approaching Nirvana? That's another good question. And or if the music is any good. I can't hear it. I will hide it because I'm pretty sure nobody needs to know that we're listening to Approaching Nirvana. If you want to know the name of the song, give us a shout in chat. Cute. So that is done. Nice. What it has also removed is our Nova stuff that we'll need to publish as part of our deployment now. But now we have stripped ourselves of our third-party CMS control panel thing. Yeah, okay. I don't know how to zoom in VS Code, so you're going to have to bear with. Ah! That was the whole of it. Oh, because it's because it's Node or whatever Electron. Oh, that's cool. There's Control Plus. Is that better? Almost looks too big now. Cool. So yeah, we are about to dump our entire Nova all of the Nova. This is licensed, which is the reason that the GitHub is private. So that looks suspicious. What have I been doing in there when I was messing about? Oh, I put the comment when we were talking about that stuff. Hello. Yeah, nice. Anything else? Composer? Oh, everything else is in the Nova directory. The public stuff, but we'll do that within the deployment. So it was modified. Oh yeah, okay, because of the publish. So in our composer JSON, we've got a post update hook that publishes Nova's latest CSS and stuff. So much better, just a browser, innit? Yeah. Although it does seem to be a lot more performant. Like, I didn't used to use this. I was a bit of a, old fuddy-duddy. I've been using Sublime up until like the start of the year. Yeah, a moment for silence for Sublime. Oh, I still miss it. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I'm there now. Somebody showed me this. Oh, sorry, I'm chatting again. You distracted me. Somebody showed me. Okay, where's the extensions that sit here? I see just installed ones. Somebody showed me this basically. Oh, god damn it. Where's the installed extensions? View. Can I just see the ones I've installed? So I'm gonna look back. No one's gonna help. Oh, installed. Here we go. This here it is. It's V4 Sublime a futile. Dunno. It might pull me back. But yeah, this little bad boy basically just imports stuff from your Sublime app, which delete your query in it. So. Yeah, I got this recommended thing now. It's the recommended thing that confused me. I thought this was a list of recommendations. So yeah, this little bad boy will import your key mappings from Sublime text, which means I've got the things like the Control K stuff, and the Control D works as well. Because I couldn't live without those. It's not as good. It's not as good. I will die on that hill. But the text editing is, and the speed. But the auto-complete stuff is quite good. That's all I'm going to say on the matter. It's quite good. Right. Anyway, where were we? We were deleting stuff, which is the best thing to do. Always gets me when it's add some deleted stuff. Excellent. Well, as soon as I can spell the git of the commits, remove Nova in preference for packages version. We've also massively updated Nova, and I haven't even tested it. We'll test it live. It'll be fun. Do a push? Don't think I pushed. Alright. Does anyone know why we were doing that? Does anyone remember where we were at? So I think we were resolving this issue, right? Nova was a lower version, and we were either going to downgrade the PHP version or upgrade Nova. Alright. That's 1244. It is not 1244, but obviously auto deploy isn't set up, so it's not going to do that. So let's grab our blob. Here. Main. Go do your thing. Looking this way, but obviously the camera's right up there, so I've actually looked away from it. Should have entered that poll, really. Oh, come on. Don't even get an error this time. Oh, there we go. God damn faker. Alright. What version would you prefer to be, Mr. Faker? Now, Faker's actually been deprecated. This is hilarious. Hilarious is the wrong word. The amount of dependencies this has. Look at this. just 700, just a mere 791,363 repositories and 3,993 packages, and the guy's called quits. And I don't blame him. Yeah, there. Sun saying PHP faker. Yeah, I don't blame him one iota, but it is quite amusing. See what happens, basically. This is 8, so what version is this? It's not what it's saying. I could just go and look at another Laravel 8 project. Faker. Abandoned. That's still 7. There's one that. Oh. Dev Master. Is that really what I'm using on another? Bear with. I need to go and quickly look at something. Don't load it. Yeah, nice. Don't think there's anything too untoward in that. Just bring this one in. So this is a Laravel 8 project. And it should have a Fascinato faker, possibly in our dev. Am I being black? Oh, no. Oh, hello. Yeah, let's face it, all package managers are a pain in the arse. Dependencies in general are a pain in the arse. Oh my god, somebody's taken it over. Is it exactly the same? Wow. Fun times. Somebody's just inherited it. Interesting. I obviously missed this announcement. Who did this? Oh, they gave it a new... somebody made it a little banner. That's kind of like you've made it in the open source world when you've got a banner like that, haven't you? They updated the document. Oh yeah, they have. We're just looking at that. The Fascinato documentation was not great. It's basically this. Cool. So it looks like we can pull in that fake PHP. And this project here is using 191, so just give it a go. So we can flip out Fascinatos, exactly the same version. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and we have that in. Yeah, are there? It's all just throwing, just mudslinging across the fence, isn't it? Who cares? Right. Where were we? Faker. It does not like Faker. It's alright though, we've resolved that. Ah. NPM used to be Garbo with listed. There's a conversation, by the way, if you're not aware of it, going on in the chat about package managers. I should probably repeat what people are saying before I comment on it. Oh god, no, I mean, Liam, I don't think you can use Windows as a validator of any package manager, can you? And don't we have that same issue on Linux with ulimit? Like I'm sure I've had that with watching. Is that just open files, not not installing via package manager. But anyway, whatever. It's all a much for muchness. It's all rubbish. We just about get it over the line. Anyway, commit, update focus apps. Push that. Push the button and the buttons. Can you not change the Windows file descriptor limit? Pushed. Now, 7 million times the charm. I'm hoping this is going. Could you not just leave my details in there for 2 minutes? No. For those that haven't seen chat, sorry, can I clarify? So, what do you mean by that? So, he says that Windows file descriptor limit is hard-coded to 256. And that should be fun in the land of any package manager. I'm going to just replace all mentions of package manager in this with generic package manager. File length. Oh, what, the path name? Or just the file name? Oh no, the Nightbot got you. Liam apparently spammed something very large in capital letters about Windows, and our spam bot took umbrance to that and just deleted all his messages. As if it went back and deleted all your messages as well. I love that. It's just literally gone through the entire channel and deleted loads. Well, don't put large capital letters in our YouTube channel, apparently. Install repository. That's what we were doing, right? Let's go. Spent 2 hours installing a repo into Forge. File name is capped at 255 or something. I mean, whilst you know, freedom and all that jazz, but yes, censorship. Whilst I don't particularly agree with instituting rules like that, I mean, honestly, if you need a file name that's 255 characters long, then I think you've got other issues. Why does it? I forget this every time. It really would be sweet if we weren't testing this on in production and was instead actually testing it on my local machine. Can probably regedit it as well. The 255 file name character limit. Yeah, I thought it was the whole path. Yeah, I've come across that before, and I've definitely turned it off as well, disabled it. Back in the day when I first got my a ThinkPad, and it came pre-installed with Windows. Sean will remember this. I was very excited about that. It came pre-installed with Windows, and I was very reticent to install Linux on it for like maybe a few months until I just basically had had it with Windows and upgraded, I should say, to Linux. Right, the nested dependencies were when whatever left pad required a dependency on character shifting or something, right? And you'd get the character shifting inside of the left pad folder. That True Fizzy almost bought a Mac. I've considered it on a few occasions, but pride gets the best of me, basically. swiftly followed by the kick up the backside with the realization that everybody runs everything on Linux anyway. Anyway, let's move off controversial political subjects. I would lose all my respect for him. If I bought a Mac, you mean, Will? Jesus. The what are they? Are they ARM? They are ARM, aren't they? The M1. The way that you lot bang on about the fanlessness of them is pretty appealing, because I don't know. Let's have a look. I CD'd into my home directory so I didn't leak that file name, and then just moved it over anyway. Yeah, I mean, this is not healthy, is it? Screen keys using 120% of my CPU. That's this thing. It's not even working. Oh, amazing. I've just tried to right click on it and it's just totally dead up there. It is getting pretty warm in here, so that'll probably be why. Let's kill that. Die. Sig term. See you later. F in chat for F in chat for screen key. Followed by Sublime, absolutely and utterly. I think it's indexing. Yeah. Let me close that. Yes. Yeah, I mean, this isn't healthy. I'd like to be. It'd be nice, but I'm still not going to get a Mac. Right. Anyway, back to it. We compose a locked up big again because I forgot to do that again. So I'm just going to call this commit third time's a charm. Let's get on to that point, you know, where the commit messages just go completely out the window and we start pushing to main with funny commit messages. You type fast, keylogging per character is hard work. I've already pushed. I swear to God. Right, install. This is really trying my patience today. 113. No, can I have a new one, please? There you go. Oh, it's got some solutions to this one. We're getting this means it's worked, because dun 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 dun. There's a couple of ways to fix this. This is basically the authentication I was just doing a moment ago. Basic auth. It will tell you how to fix it as well. In 3 terrible ways. Alright, so the way to fix this is I can even SSH in do it, or we could just do Digitalocean. I'm trying to work out which one's going to leak less data. Let's go with connecting direct. So if I connect up to the server, bear with. Oh, it's that one. Alright. And we need an IP. So it's this one, I think. Yeah. And it'll be Forge. working well. Bear with, I need to move this over here. It doesn't accept. Right, bear with. So we can just do this. And install this public key into, call it treasure. Will points out the fact that it just says MacBook in there. Yeah, right, the cheek. This will be... I can always get them quite confused. I want to say this is Drees, but it's not going to be Drees, is it? Whoa, don't look at that page. Yeah, not too sure who it is, but the Laravel people you'll be probably pretty pleased to hear are absolutely and utterly love Apple life. Alright, so we should be able to get into this now. Yeah, Treasure's asking me for things, and we're in. Beautiful. Now, we need to escalate ourselves. So the... One moment. The individual sites will use, you can pick to use isolation basically. So we've isolated this Marketeer site. It is running under the Marketeer user. It has its own PHP FPM, it has its own database, it has its own everything on this server. So if we sudo su to Marketeer, we're going to need to pop our password in for, oh, it's a good job I didn't just do that. It's good job the extension isn't installed anymore. I was just about to start browsing through my password. We need the forged password for, oh dear, is it underneath? Where did I put it? This is not good. Found it. It's okay. Nobody panic. Found it. Perfect. We're in. We are Marketeer. Go to his home directory, and in his home directory, I don't know why I'm calling him it. In the its home directory, we should find our application installed. So we could just come in here and run the command that's failing. Composer install. And it's going to do that one that is missing. So we can start. Oh wow. There's a sudden real nice breeze of cold air come through the window. We need our password for that. So I keep putting forge in here. I don't want the forge password again. That's what I did wrong last time. I know that. That one. And at this point, it's going to suggest that it puts it in a really sensible place. Perfect. Stick it there. And it's going to carry on. It's going to install everything else it didn't manage to install. Done. Perfect. Exit. Exit. Now we're going to our site. It should have saved this. I swear Forge has just decided to play silly buggers with me today. Let's try it once more. Oops. Literally just passed a note. I'm not even going to say anything. I'm going to change that password when I get off the stream, I think. Don't even know what that was. Oh, I do know what that was a password for. Hopefully you don't. Alright. Should really learn one of the other ones. Forge is a nightmare. Just what you know, innit? Hey! It's alive! So this is our script that it will run for us. What we'll need to do in here is a couple of niceties. So in all instances, use $forge.php for your PHP, because it could be you're using a different version. Artisan down. That'll put the site into maintenance mode. We will then git pull origin. We will install. We will restart our PHP FBM service, and then we're going to do a migration. We're also going to do a few more other things as well. So what we want to be able to do is, that was the migration you were speaking about earlier. Sorry, Thomas. It's only taken us about an hour to get to the answer to your question. We also would like to do, I can never remember. We'll need to, oops, this one. Artisan has a command. No, it has many. It's one of these. It's to do with our queue. Ah, there it is. Oh, that took a while. So Laravel ships with, or doesn't ship with, but you can set up queues. So we'll probably cover those again at some point. Effectively, in here, in Forge, I can come in and I can come to my queue. And here we can assign a new worker to go and work on that queue, basically. So anything, any jobs, any notifications, anything that needs to be run or has been marked to run in a queue will be run by our worker and not in our synchronous thread, or our thread that's responding to the request. We will have one of these. We can, it's fine with just one at the moment. It's not heavy. We will start our worker. I think this is all we need. I mean, the default's usually fine. I'm just quickly going over it. We'll start our worker. And my mouse just died. There we go. Start worker. This little chap, I'm just going to sit there and wait on Redis or whatever's your configured queue. Looks like it's gone for Redis. Sit on your queue, waiting for jobs, pick them up, work on them. However, once it's started doing that, it's not going to pick up changes. So what you can do is you can issue a queue restart. That'll literally yell into the ether to say, hey, you lot, restart. And Bob's your uncle. Not going to do the whole phrase, but ow! Did I just navigate away from here, didn't I? Moron. Alright, so what we were doing, we were Forge PHPing, artisaning, and you'll notice that this is covered in a check. That's for the first time it runs, I guess. I don't really know what the point of that is, to be honest, but we're always going to have that artisan file, to be fair, now that we've deployed anyway. So we will queue restart. No, what am I doing? We're artisaning down here. So we're going to bring the site into maintenance mode. Then we're going to queue restart. What's queue restart, right? Anyone remember? My memory's awful, as I've said 100 times. I keep forgetting I've said it. Queue restart. Yep. Alright. And then I just use the button up outside of it. Basically, I just leave these for my config stuff, or like setting up stuff. Artisan down. Do the things. Restarts. Artisan up. Am I forgetting anything? Probably. Yeah, fine. Fine. Updating it. Sweet. Now, you can either post or get to this URL, so you could put that inside of your pipelines if you wanted to run a bunch of tests beforehand, before issuing it, or you can hit this button. And now A4 just gone and hooked into GitHub, out of the webhook, and every time it gets pushed, it will deploy. So we should probably deploy a change of some description, or we should also, to be fair, hook this up to be honest, it hasn't got anything on it. We can probably visit it locally if we do an etc hosts jobby. So BIM, the old BIM. Analytics, etc. Ignore this. Totally forgot what we're doing now. Copying this, sticking it in there. Marketeer. Marketeer. I can't spell marketeer. How in replace mode? How am I in replace mode? Looks good to me. Oh. Nice. Perfect. Am I going crazy? I spelled that wrong or something? No. Why have we got 404 on the Marketeer? I don't know, Will. When that moment, perfect. Refreshers 4A4. I swear. Does anything ever go right when you're streaming? I've never had this issue before. Oh! I have had this issue before. There it is. HTTP. Ah, son of a... Ah. Ah, pop my shoulder. HTTPS, because it's not propagated yet. So, it's here. It doesn't have an email or a username, sorry, or any details as far as I'm aware. I cannot remember how we get a new user. Your guess is as good as mine. It might be that we use Nova. It may also be that we need to run a seeder. Looks like we need to run a seeder. It's been a while since I sorted this out. So we've got roles and permissions seeder, and we've got a database seeder that does just events. That's curious. Sod law applies to live streaming, yeah. Wait, what do you mean mine works with HTTPS? Oh, you mean you can get to it with HTTPS, Will? Yeah, you're probably getting to the other side. There's two now. We have two marketeers now. Yeah, I think social law is just permanently in application when yeah, it works with HTTP. Yeah, so yeah, the HTTPS version that you're looking at is the old one that was deployed with GitHub. I have used that etc hosts fix. Sorry, I probably just really quickly skipped over that, and that's not an entirely obvious fix. This, and it works on every operating system as far as I'm aware. It definitely works on Linux. Sorry, Mac in exactly that place, etc hosts. On Windows, I think it might be C Windows System 32 / etc / hosts or something. Something along those lines. But you can override your DNS table in this file, and it's instant. So you just vim it, or whatever, nano it, open it with something. You'll need sudo. Open it. Hopefully put your finger in exactly the right place on your stupid ThinkPad fingerprint reader. And then you can come along and just be like 127.0.0.1, so your local host, yeah, is twitter.com. That's not twitter.com, that's twitter.com. That's not a command. Why do I keep doing capital W? There we go. And then if I go to twitter.com, it's going to be like, nah, what the hell is this? DNS on the fly. Nice and easy. So it allows you to go and cheekily check whether something's already set up before you go and change your DNS over or something. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that line. And you're going to go ahead and forget you saw any of those other entries inside my etc hosts file. Alright, so we have our little app running. Used to do that for more nefarious. Yeah, so you can use that for perhaps redirecting traffic from DoubleClick to 127.0.0.1 or even more nefarious purposes. For example, you could remap on somebody's computer to maybe your computer on the local network instead. Don't do that. You did not hear it here first. Okay. Although, you'll notice Twitter just straight up refute. That wasn't a it couldn't be found. That was a straight up, what the fuck is this? Because of, was it HSTS? Certificate pinning stuff. So, I mean, yeah, good luck redirecting an actual proper website to your local machine. Anyway, rambling aside, we need to get our user set up here. So I'm going to need some roles and permissions, which is perfect. It's here. So we can use Artisan, and I'm just going to use PHP because it's the only PHP installed on this server. Here's PHP 8. If not, we'd need to use that Forge PHP value thing. PHP Artisan migrate. And migrate, sorry, excuse me, db seed, and then we can pass it a class. So by default, db seed will take our database seeder and run it, which will generate, by the looks of it, 10 excuse me, 10 fake events for us to mess about with. We don't need that. We just need this roles and permission seeder. So we're going to inject that as our class that we want to seed. Do you want to run this in production? Yes. Excellent. Unknown data, for crying out loud. How is there an unknown database? You managed to migrate a moment ago, didn't you? Is it not migrated? Give me strength. I don't even know how you create a database from here. I guess this is the problem with using these automated kind of tools, and this is why I steer away from stuff that you haven't set up yourself usually, because I haven't the first clue how to fix this now. Problem is, this server is also brand spanking new, so it's not like it's going to have any other. I can't do it. I think I've got a password for it in my thing here. Okay, is it show users? No. Oh, that makes sense, I guess. Star from MySQL.user, was it? Just don't read. I hate bloody Google things. Oh, here's MySQL.user. Okay, that seems to work. Helpful. Anyone know what this can be? Is there a user? There we go. Excellent. So it hasn't set us up a user by the looks of it. Beautifully read. Yeah. Can you not read that? It's like dropping into the Matrix for a moment, that wasn't it? Why is Forge being an absolute hole today? Let me just go and look at my other Forge server. Like I say, I've got a staging server that I use this on. I'm almost certain it sets up databases for us when you create a new site. It might be that. Actually, give us a minute. Give us a moment. Give us a moment. Just a moment. That one. Yeah, it has set it up properly, but it hasn't created the actual database itself. down to some issues with the 70 times that we had to run the install, to be fair. So mouse gone. Alright, so is it just create database, isn't it? And then name. Yeah. Doop. I don't know why I feel obliged to put it all in capital letters. And it's trying to connect to... Not that one. Where is it? There was an arrow, wasn't there? Somewhere. God. Damn it. Whatever. Marketeer. Can't have a dash in it. Can you have a dash in it? It's in quotes. No, you cannot. Can I have it in double quotes? No, you cannot. That'd probably be why it didn't make it then. That was a trip. And we can just update it. It's environment variable. Forge, and I need to move it away over here, I'm afraid. Single dev. To be fair, I can probably show you all the way up to it. So if you click into a site, and then, to be fair, I don't think this will actually be filled in. Let me have a quick look. But if you click that environment file, it will show you the environment. And I don't think there's anything in there that's too untoward. I just delete that out. I have no idea if that's untoward or not. So yeah, this is our oh my god, the DB password is there, isn't it? Nobody saw that, nobody paused it. Anyway, you can edit the environment variables in a little nice interface. Just sweet. That's done. So just back to apps and drag that over to here. Alright, so now over here we're logged in as Forge. We need to do the old sudo sus. That's like 3 parts. Shh. Well, no, it's not necessary to enumerate them. Not necessary at all. It's fine. I think one of them was a no. I can only count 2. Nova and my database password. That's by no means the root user, and that password will definitely be changed as soon as I get off this call. Maybe, possibly, if I don't figure it. Alright, we are marketing. We are marketing the things with the things. We need to go to Marketeer. We need this level chap now needs to run migrations. Do it? Of course I do. Why would you not want to run migrations in production? Boom! She's away! That's connected up. Done my users. Now we had the roles and permissions seeder. So this just takes, just seeds a bunch of roles and permissions into the system. It's not too crazy. Uses a package by Spatey. Spatey, if you're unaware. I actually heard him pronounce it the other day, and now I feel like a right moron for not remembering. God, Brits are awful, aren't they? Or I am awful. But yeah, there's a different way of pronouncing that, and I'm not going to do it justice. Spatey permissions. Basically, if you see Spatey in the name, in my opinion, you're all good. Spatey's amazing. There's all stuff for free. I think I've probably talked about him a lot. I'm not going to talk about him anymore. But this is a Laravel permission stuff. It allows me to take. You can do like namespaced things if you turn it on. We have a bunch of permissions in the system for it creates event.create, event.read, event.update, event.delete. We'll see in a minute. I'll show you them. So we'll seed that. We seeded that. It has been seeded. So we should be able to now do artisan nova user, which will create as a nova user, or rather just a user to be fair. So we'll call it Alex. Cool. So pop the password in, and I'm gonna pop a super secure password. Totally can't. Typing. There we go. Oh dear, excuse me. Oh, blimey. Ah, there we go. It's Dutch. Yeah, Spasti. Spatish. Spatish. I'm not sure. Lovely, 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 lovely bloke and lovely team. Awesome peoples. Anyway, go over my development crash and move on. We have a user. It's debatable whether or not this user is going to be allowed in, because reasons. We'll find out. We're going to do refresh because our token's going to be complete crap. 403 forbidden. This is the issue. So our gate on Nova is looking for a permission that we do not have. We should be able to give ourselves a super awesome permissions in a moment. So not Nova, HTTP. Wait, is it in Nova? No. Losing my mind now. I think it's in. No. Can't draw a complete blank. Oh. Yeah, so in the Nova service provider. And then there's a gate. There we go. So yeah, this is your service provider for the Nova, CMS, whatever you want to call it. And it has a gate. And it asks the user, oh blimey, the user can do tool.nova. However, there is a way in Spanish to, well, I need a role actually, so let's go and look up roles. What is the role called? Seeded roles. There's an admin. Yeah, there we go. Which gets 1111 out of everything basically. Yeah, so that's the models. Each model. And then each permission inside each model. So the admin can do everything. An editor can not create events and cannot create templates, for example. That probably didn't make much sense, but okay. And then I've completely forgotten how to. There we go. Give a permission to a user. So we'll Google it. Spooky. Yeah, there's this you can do. But there's also, I'll just give myself that permission. Anyone see it? This is no, this is direct permissions. I should be able to give him a role. What the hell is the role thing? It has roles. So ah dear. Right, hang on. I think I can do this in Artisan. So we'll open that REPL again. And user find one. Give permission to. No, we need to give it a role. There's definitely a way of assigning roles. What the hell's the? Just assign role. It is indeed. Alright, cool. Now we should be able to get in. Yeah, we're in. So we have a new app running at our new place. Final step now, well, will be to migrate over, but I'll do that a little bit later. We'll need to enable our new place. But we have a version of it now running on our new server, which is good, and deployed by Forge, which is also good. Does anyone remember what I was meant to be doing today? Right, I think the goal for today was to refactor the notification stuff. So what I'm going to need to do is I'm going to need to add some environment variables to that new server, but for now it's up there and it's running. It won't be able to communicate yet, but that's good. And we are able to communicate, so what we can do is test notification stuff. So at the moment, excuse me, at the moment the application uses Laravel's notification class to send emails, Discord messages, and tweets. And the problem with them is, well, very much prescribed by what they're meant to be used for, but they are fire and forget. So none of these notification classes will provide me details on what any response from Twitter or Discord or whatever. They will detect failures and they will try again by a configurable amount. But what I can't do, for example, is send a tweet and get the resulting status ID from it. And it would be nice to be able to reply to a tweet later. So Twitter's algorithm is geared up quite heavily towards keeping you on Twitter and all that sort of jazz. It's quite an effective plan to basically reply to a tweet. So if you're sending out a marketing tweet of some description, like we occasionally do, this one, for example, today we had a big push for big push on Nitro, and that has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that Epic are giving it away for free at the moment, I'm sure. But we got up to level 2 on our Discord server. We're able to announce that. At some point, maybe in the next couple of days, I'll probably look to reply to this tweet and say, you know, if you're missing out, some wanky marketing, you know, if you're missing out on the Discord action, you can join us here at Discord, for example. Now, not only does Twitter penalize you for putting this link, nordev.discord, in the original tweet, but what will also happen is when we tweet this out in a couple of days, it's not a retweet of this original post, but people will get the Andrew, you legend. Oh, disappeared. Classic Twitter that was. See some content you want when you hit the homepage, and boom, it's gone. Anyway, this style. So excuse me for bringing attention to Andy's tweet here, but this will happen, right? So imagining that this was something from like maybe 7 days ago, he could then re-highlight that original tweet by replying to that 7 days later, basically. And that's something that we would like to be able to do within Marketeer. I don't think it's something you can do with Buffer or anything like that, but it would be absolutely fantastic if we could basically say that something is in reply to something else. I've got no idea how that's going to work and how that's going to play out in practice, but the first thing we're going to need to do is to start capturing the tweet, or rather the data that's coming out of that tweet, and refactor us away from, like I say, using notifications. Now, I'm not entirely certain if I've sold on replacing all of these at the moment. As it stands, the only one that actually need to get the data out of is a tweet. But feels dirty, naughty, whatever the word is for it, really. But feels a little bit naughty to only extract one of these out of this notification. I haven't quite decided on that yet either. Excuse me. Ugh. I've only had one coffee today. I'm running on very little caffeine and 4 hours of sleep. Okay. So, where does the schedule notification get sent from or dispatched from? It gets quite unsurprisingly dispatched, I hope, from here. Yeah. No. Not really from here. This is what it's associated to by means of being a notifiable. So it's a little bit of a weird setup, the way I'm using notifications from a Laravel point of view here. Usually you would send a notification to a user. So a user is notifiable, and you would notify them using their preferred notification service, potentially. I mean, maybe you don't care what their preferred is and you just take whatever you can, but usually what would happen is in here, if, for example, this user had signed up for push notifications, you would be able to tell from their model that you've got a push token from them. So you then say that actually to route this notification to them, you're going to use this user prefers push notifications, or this user prefers emails or discords or whatever. So a user is notifiable and we send them a notification usually. However, in this particular instance, in the Marketeer world, we aren't notifying a user so much as we're notifying a provider. So we notify Discord or we notify Twitter. Admittedly, in that instance, sometimes we do send DMs, but again, they're still not related to a particular user on our system. They're can anyone hear those kids? I can hear them through my headphones, so I'm going to guess you can hear them. I love kids. They're such the soul of the party, aren't they? Hope my neighbours don't listen to the stream. Anyway, so we're in this instance sending them to. So it gets a little bit weird. Basically, this is a little bit strange, but inside the scheduled notification, it has a route for particular things, and on the actual scheduled notification itself, it will determine where it's going via. So usually you would in here have a user, and you'd say, have I got a token for them? Let's say, sorry, have you got a push notification token for them? Yes. Then I'll send it via pusher. Otherwise, I'll send it via whatever. So in this instance, it's determined by its type. So if we create a scheduled notification of type whatever, so in here. Oh, this isn't going to work anymore because I've rerouted the traffic. You get the point anyway. Let's go here, I guess. If we go scheduled, then I can create one. We've got types here. So that's where it gets set. Rather than pulling it from the user, we're pulling it from the actual schedule thing, which makes this a little bit awkward, basically. The actual place this is getting triggered is in jobs. So if we come out even further, go to console, into our kernel. In Laravel, we have our schedule method. So inside of our console kernel, we can say that we would like to issue, and there's several things underneath this scheduler. See if we can simple example. I thought I'd use some of that VS Code stuff. There are commands, so this is an artisan command, or there's jobs, so you can specify a specific job. Can't think of any other examples right now, but basically you can pass a cron style declaration here every minute, every 15 minutes, or every hour, plus every every odd hour of the day. And then Forge should have created. Does it tell you about it? I can't even remember if it tells you about it. I don't think it has necessarily, but that has configured cron to call a artisan command. So every minute, artisan will call. Cron will call this schedule run. The schedule run will go and look at our schedule and determine whether or not either of these need to be run at this exact minute of the day. So if it's every 15 minutes and we happen to be on the quarter past the hour, then it's going to run that events repeat. It is going to run notification send every minute. So if we go and have a look at that, that is a command. So if we come into our commands, we are going to look for the schedule notification send class, which should have a signature in it. So we should be able to see this in our list here somewhere. In fact, no, notification send. Right, so it's up here a little bit. Here it is. So this is our custom notifications send command. That in turn will run job dispatch. Now job is actually just an alias, if we look up here, for exactly the same name as scheduled notification sent, which itself is a job. So effectively that seemed like a bit of a roundabout way of running this job. You don't have to have gone through the command, but it does allow us to then issue those commands ourselves manually. So if we don't have the cron task running for whatever reason locally, excuse me, we can still run it manually whenever we need to send those out. So scheduled notification send. We'll cover this little bit in a moment. I'll explain why that is like it is. But this is the nitty and gritties of it. So for each model that's been assigned to this job, you're going to notify it using the scheduled notification. You're going to mark it as sent and you're going to save it. This is where we need to tack in our logic. This is where we'll need potentially either say if the notification is of type, and types are a little bit difficult, but we'll for now put Twitter. I'll talk about those in a second. Then we're going to need to do some stuff. We're going to need to use third-party library. Else, we're going to actually just do this. I think for now, we don't need to refactor out no type hinting. There's type hinting. There's a type right here. Look. I might have missed that message. It's probably old. Yeah, we're going to send out via a normal system. So let's try and refactor out Twitter for the time being and get about it. So I think I came across and I've used it before, this. I think we went down this. Oh, excuse me. Did we not do this a few episodes ago? This feels familiar. Yeah, recognize this. Alright, So we can do the things with the things, and we can use this little bad boy. Now, another thing that I'm going to need to do is store the response. So at the moment, we should have a look in our database. Anytime soon, Workbench should be great. God knows. There's some code. Oh, one sec. Let's not leak another password for the 100th time today. Oh, well, that was nice and easy. Come out of end before you bring that back. There we go. Yeah, so in our database against our scheduled notifications, we're going to need to store the response in here. And I think for this purpose, I'm actually going to rely on a JSON field. I don't know whether that's a good idea or not at this stage, but I think it is. The reason for that is that because of the different natures of the different types of scheduled notification, we might be able to add another one of these at a later stage. But because of the different natures of them, we probably are going to be looking at storing perhaps several different kind of response types in there. And then we're going to need to know how to pull it out of that blob when we want to use it, right? So if we're going to be replying to a tweet, we know that the thing is in there. The other issue then is we need to add reply logic as well. So in our Atomic Twitter client, we're going to probably have serious? Are you? Is this alphabetical? Is that why that's at the bottom? Because that's hilarious. Yeah, it's alphabetical. It's like the first thing you want to be able to do with the Twitter API is get some settings out of the account. No, it's this. Status. Status, status, status. Post a tweet. Sometimes I talk about the documentation of Laravel world and the PHP world being amazing, but some further details on what exactly post RT takes would be whew, blow me down. That'd be a bit too much, would it not? Have I missed the documentation somewhere? Doesn't look like it. Oh. 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 I think I talked about these a few weeks ago. But this is those notifications I was then referring to. These are all the providers they support, and more. To be fair, this is just the ones that this chap's bothered to put on this website. But I use this quite a lot actually. It's cool. Anyway. Is this old or something? It says 8 against it. 18th of May. Awful. Awful. Alright, well I guess we're going to look at code. No clue where this this is the right. No clue where this is going to all be defined, to be honest. Oops. this is going to be fun, isn't it? The parameters. Are you serious? There's got to be a better library than this. Fujon. I think I've used that. Like I say, I've used this in the past. Wait, that just redirected to somewhere else. Can you redirect GitHubs now? Today I learned. That's where we got onto that, maybe. Brain's beginning to go around in spirals and circles now. So this is Fujon, forked from Atomic. Oh yeah. Oh. Great. Tell you what I have used. Have a look what I used in another application I built recently. That is the server. Let's get out of there. That one. Oh. See what we use for this. Huh. Well, looks like I used Fujon's Twitter with this one. So, not so deprecated, because that one's definitely still being used. This is so bizarre. Is it Atomic Twitter or Fujon Twitter? Are they the same? Confusing at all. I'm assuming if we were to refer to the Twitter documentation, that this would actually make a lot more sense. this is what that's doing, right? The posting a tweet. What are we looking at? Oops, okay, yeah. Right, here we go. So that's something we're going. That's basically what I want to do. So I want to be able to capture this status, capture this ID, and then in 2 days or whatever reply to this. But whether or not and how I go about that in a fairly generic way is a bit of a difficulty. I think it's just going to have to be fairly hard coded, to be honest. So within our scheduled notifications, a scheduled notification should be able to reply. Should have a so we have this destination, and I can't remember if a tweet basically becomes a DM if it has a destination, effectively, I think. So if we go and look in our I'm looking for in the actual model. No, in the actual notification, excuse me. Yeah, so if the tweet has the destination, it's converted to a direct message. I mean, it's probably worth checking whether or not I can just reply to a tweet in this, right? Probably missed a trick, really. I'm still not going to be able to. Yeah, I'm still not going to be able to pick up the reply though. Yeah. Okay. No, that doesn't count. So how do we go about that? Hey, Damien, how's it going? What's up? It's going to be a thinker. It's going to be a thinker. We'll probably want a response in here, which is, like I say, JSON. So yeah, we're going to want to add a column to our database with the reply in it. I can't think of a better word than destination either at the moment. It's a difficult one. Well, I should have probably thought about before streaming about it. It's difficult to know what to prepare and what not to prepare for these. I like the idea that they're completely unprepared off the cuff, but it takes a lot to not sit here and do the entire thing, the entire 2 hours before in the morning or something. Yeah, I think that's the way. So we're gonna have to have let's just have a new column, right? New column, 2 new columns, a response column, and which we can just use as JSON and just store arbitrary data in there, I guess. So it's where's the terminal in this bloody thing? Terminal, show me a terminal. I already had a terminal open. Where's it gone? View. Where's my terminal, you mother? Just drag it. Did I do that? Have I caused that to happen, or? Yeah, I think I might have done that myself, to be fair. Alright, cool. Totally forgotten what I was looking for now. Control plus is that tilde? Oh yeah. Nice. Like that. Totally forgot mine. Wanted to open it now. That's the problem. Oh yeah. And make migration. add Twitter, add response and reply columns to event table. This will get us a new migration over here. And we just need to check that it's event and not events. You very often call it events. It is events. Yeah. I'm usually plural table names because it contains a lot of event. Sick of fucking naming things, eh? We need to now add some S's around here, otherwise it will throw its toys out of the pram. Okay. So table, it's a JSON field. And it's gonna be wait, is it even it's not events? We don't want it on there, we want to schedule notifications, don't we? Yeah, this is the one with the destination. Just lost my mind. So we're gonna rename this rename that. Schedule notifications. That to both be scheduled notifications, and then you need to make the whatever it is, camel case, it's not camel, is it? It's title case. Notifications up there, otherwise it won't know what class it's looking for. Okay, table JSON response, and we can put that, make it after. Send. And then we'll also want a table, we can probably just make it string for our reply ID. So I'm just going to call it that, because it might be that we, I don't know, want to reply to a Discord message, but I can't very much doubt that. We'll put that after our destination column. And we'll also make that nullable because it's a string. And we won't have one to start off with. So that's a migration done. We need a down. Seems to be quite a big consensus in the Laravel world for not actually writing these down once. I'm entirely certain why. I think it's because they're dangerous, but like if you do a migration with a refresh, basically it just uses drop tables rather than, you know, bobby drop tables basically. If you roll back a migration, then it will use the down method, because it might be that you didn't. Anyway, doesn't matter, but I don't know why. But Laravel seems to be the case where you're going to get a down method, so that's something to be aware of. I think they're all in the main ones. Yeah. Cool. So we're gonna create a response and a reply and drop on our down. So if we do migrate in here, perfect. It's going to kick its toys out of the pram. I swear, if everything could go wrong today, that'd be great. What the fuck? Oh, it's 2:30. What a fantastic time for it to be 2:30. Add response and reply columns to scheduled notifications table. God knows. Bear with. What's wrong with that? Run it again, see if it changes. No. God damn it. Bear with. I swear things are just sent to test you when you're streaming. I'll honestly say it. That was basically that plastic. That was disgusting. Right. We have our migration in. That was a pretty poor attempt for the stream today. I guess we got it set up on our new server, and you saw what Forge looks like while you're streaming. Next week we'll finish this off. So we'll hook in our atomic Fujon, whatever the bloody thing's called, and we'll hook up our ability to send a status with an in reply to status ID. The other thing that I'd like to be able to do, you need a metal bottle. Yeah, I do. Yeah, that was disgusting. To be honest, I don't often drink water like this, so just decided I need to start drinking more water, and there wasn't any pint glasses downstairs when I looked, so grabbed this. But next attempt is I've built. Is that open source? Let me have a look. Going to refer back to the no, it isn't. That's a real pain. What I might do is I might speak to a client this week, see if I can get them to open source a field that I created for them. But they've got a Twitter field that handles threads. So that's the other thing that I need to get into this. At the moment, if you send or if you write a notification that's much longer than Twitter allows, we just get a bunch of errors in our logs saying Twitter won't, this is too long for Twitter, basically. So it'd be nice to incorporate this field. Along with that, though, it'll mean that the message potentially is split into several messages, so we'll need to work out how we're going to handle that as well. Yeah, it's 2:30. I'd rather crack on, but I should leave you all to your afternoons of... It's sunny yet? Yeah. Not raining though, so there's that. Sorry Damien, no raining for your garden. But yeah, be back next week on actual Wednesday. Don't forget Thursday next week we've got Kevin Henney to talk about refactoring. It's not just clickbait. Don't forget as well, Social Club on a Friday, 5:30 till late. It's now on the Discord because we like burning out MacBooks left, right, and centre. I mean, I can't recommend Windows enough. If you want to join a Discord video call, everyone moans at Windows, but it's pretty damn good at Discord calls and Zoom calls for that matter. That's what I use for my video calls because Linux is worse than MacBook. Anyway, have a good rest of your afternoons. Speak to you later.